This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 505. All-Weather Portfolio, 5 Questions and Answers About the Mix, Part 2 by Tony Tran with IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com. And I'm Dan, the guy who is here each Monday through Friday reading to you from some of the best blogs on personal finance. And as of this week, I'm reading to you about business as well. You can hear me narrate articles all about management, entrepreneurship, freelancing, productivity, creativity, marketing, social media, and a lot more on the podcast Optimal Business Daily. Now, Justin and Lee were the hosts of that show for the first 300 episodes, and now they want to take what they learned in those articles and implement a bunch of those ideas. So they're going to be working on that instead of hosting the show. So I'm taking over that as of this week, and you can hear me narrate that podcast starting with episode 301. But for this show, today is a continuation from yesterday. So if you've been skipping around, or maybe this is your first time checking in with us, it would be best to hear yesterday's episode first. And before we get to it, thanks so much to ZipRecruiter for their support of the show. Looking for your next great hire? ZipRecruiter offers simple tools and powerful matching technology to find you qualified candidates efficiently and effectively. It's the smartest way to hire. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/OFD. That's ZipRecruiter.com/OFD. Now let's get right to part 2 of our post as we continue optimizing your life. All-Weather Portfolio, 5 Questions and Answers About the Mix, Part 2 by Tony Tran with IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com. So how do I build an all-weather portfolio? If you want to build your own all-weather portfolio but don't know where to start, don't worry. Here's a suggestion for comparable securities that you can invest in yourself, courtesy of NASDAQ.com. 30% Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, 40% iShares 20-plus year Treasury ETF, 15% iShares 7 to 10 year Treasury ETF, 7.5% SPDR Gold Shares ETF, and 7.5% PowerShares DB Commodity Index Tracking Fund. If you've never invested before and don't know how to actually buy the shares, you're in luck. There's a wealth of great, reliable brokers to help you get started building your portfolio. Our best advice for choosing a broker? Pick one of the big ones. Our suggestions are Vanguard, this is the one Ramit uses, T. Rowe Price, TIAA, or Charles Schwab. And here's a bonus. If you want Ramit's insights to a few great companies that provide great brokerage services, be sure to check out his video on how to choose a Roth IRA. You can easily sign up for these brokers by following 7 really easy steps. Step 1. Go to the website for the brokerage of your choice. Step 2. Click on the Open an Account button. Each of the websites has one. Step 3. Start an application for an individual brokerage account. Step 4, enter information about yourself, your name, address, birth date, employer info, social security, that sort of thing. Step 5, set up an initial deposit by entering in your bank information. Some brokers require you to make a minimum deposit, so use a separate bank account in order to deposit money into the brokerage account. Step 6, wait. The initial transfer will take anywhere from 3 to 7 days to complete. After that, you'll get a notification via email or phone call telling you you're ready to invest. Step 7, log into your brokerage account and start investing in the above assets. Note, the wording and order of the steps will vary from broker to broker, but the steps are essentially the same. You're also going to want to make sure you have your social security number, employer address, and bank info like accounting number and routing number available when you sign up, as they'll come in handy during the application process. The application process can be as quick as 15 minutes. If you have any questions about funds or trading, call up the numbers provided here in the post. They'll connect you with a fiduciary who works for the bank in order to give you the best advice and guidance they can. Pro tip: automate your all-weather portfolio. You can take your investing even further by automating the whole process so you can easily invest money each month when your paycheck arrives. Automating your personal finances lets you know exactly how much you have to spend each month while setting aside any worries about paying the bills or investing consistently. So how does it work? Your money is sent exactly where it needs to go, to pay utilities, your sub-savings account, your rent, whatever, as soon as your paycheck shows up each month. Check out Ramit's video on this post to learn exactly how to set it up today. How do I rebalance my all-weather portfolio? Dalio also suggests rebalancing this portfolio each year in order to maintain the original asset allocation. If you want to know more about portfolio rebalancing, be sure to check out our article on how to rebalance a portfolio. To quickly recap though, rebalancing your portfolio is the process of modifying your asset allocation as the amount of money in each investment fluctuates with the constantly changing market. And it all boils down to one thing: asset allocation. This is how much money you invest into certain asset classes in your portfolio, the major ones being stocks, bonds, and cash. To rebalance your all-weather portfolio, you just have to follow 3 super simple steps. Step 1. Find your target asset allocation. Remember the asset allocation for the all-weather portfolio: 40% long-term bonds, 30% stocks, 15% intermediate-term bonds, 7.5% gold, and 7.5% commodities. That's the goal asset allocation you should have when you're finished rebalancing. Step 2. Compare your portfolio to your asset allocation target. How has your portfolio changed since you last saw it? Which investments got bigger and which need pruning? If your stocks ballooned, so now it takes up 50% of your portfolio, you're going to either prune it back or invest in your other assets to balance it out. Which brings us to Step 3. Buy and or sell shares to get your target asset allocation. To get your original asset allocation back in the above example, you're going to need to either invest more into the other assets or sell your shares and stocks to go back to the all-weather portfolio's original mix. Once it's reverted back to your target asset allocation, congratulations, you've successfully rebalanced your portfolio. Always have money to invest in the all-weather portfolio. The Scottish poet Robert Burns once wrote, "The best laid schemes of mice and men often go awry." For all you non-former English majors out there, that means you can have your whole life route planned out, but when life throws a wrench in your spokes, everything can turn off course. The all-weather portfolio was designed to get through the times when the market throws you off course while making you money during stable ones. And unless you're a billionaire hedge fund manager with a track record of predicting recessions, you're not going to be able to anticipate the next one. The best thing you can do then is prepare for the worst. And that starts with having the money to invest and spend even when the market falters. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled All-Weather Portfolio: 5 Questions and Answers About the Mix by Tony Tran with IWillTeachYouToBeRich.com. And big thanks again to ZipRecruiter for sponsoring this episode. Looking for your next great hire but short on time? You just need the right tools, smarter tools. Hiring is a lot easier thanks to ZipRecruiter, so even when you're busy, you can still be smart about how you hire. ZipRecruiter posts your job to over 100 job boards with just one click. Then, they actively look for the most qualified candidates and invite them to apply. It's no wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter has smarter tools that makes the hiring process that much easier. And right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/OFD. That's ZipRecruiter.com/OFD. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And before we go, one last time, I have taken over the hosting duties for one of our newest shows in our podcast network. That's Optimal Business Daily, where you can now hear me narrate more from I Will Teach You to Be Rich, along with PT Money, Kristen Wong, and a bunch of other popular business bloggers. And I do that every day of the week. Lee and Justin were hosting that show for 300 episodes and just passed it along to me. So if you enjoyed this show, you'll probably like that one too. Topics covered there include freelancing, entrepreneurship, management, marketing, productivity, and so much more. Again, that's Optimal Business Daily, and you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much any podcast app out there. And that's going to do it for today. Thanks as always for being here. Have a great start to your weekend, and I'll see you back here Monday, where your optimal life awaits.